Allah Azza wa Jal says in Surah Al-Fath, هو الذي أنزل السكينة في قلوب المؤمنين ليزدادوا إيمانا مع إيمانهم ولله جنود السماوات والأرض وكان الله عليما حكيما. It is He who sent down As-Sakeenah into the hearts of the believers that they may grow more in faith along with their present faith. And to Allah belongs the soldiers, the angels, the soldiers of the heavens and the earth. And Allah is ever all-knower, all-wise. And Allah Azza wa Jal also says in Surah Al-Fath, لَقَدْ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ إِذْ يُبَايِعُونَكَ تَحْتَ الشَّجَرَةِ فَعَلِمَ مَا فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ فَأَنزَلَ السَّكِينَةَ عَلَيْهِمْ وَأَثَابَهُمْ فَتْحًا قَرِيبًا. Allah says, indeed Allah was pleased with the believers, the companions, when they gave their bay'ah, when they gave their pledge to you, Prophet of Allah, under the tree, which is known as Shajaratul Ridwan. And He rewarded them with a near victory. This was in the year where the Prophet ﷺ went for Umrah, known as Sulh al-Hudaybiyah. And he went with few of his companions, light arms, daggers, swords, nothing much. No RPGs, no airplanes, no tanks. He just went to perform Umrah, and they prevented him. And they insisted that he signs a treaty, which by he is to go back to Medina and to come the following year. And it had conditions that made some of the companions shocked. Among them was Umar, may Allah be pleased with him. In these conditions, some of them, one of the conditions stated that if some of the pagans embraced Islam and wanted to migrate to Medina, the Prophet should not accept him. He should reject him and send him back. But if the opposite happens, if one of the Muslims rejected Islam and wanted to go to Mecca, they will keep him. Umar could not swallow this. He said, this is not acceptable. He went to the Prophet ﷺ, aren't we on the right path? He said, yes. Aren't you the Prophet of Allah? He said, yes. So why are we being humiliated in Allah's religion if we are on the right path? The Prophet ﷺ said, Umar, I am Allah's servant and messenger, and He will not betray me. He will not make me go astray. So believe in that. He did not take it quite well. He went to Abu Bakr. He said the same thing to Abu Bakr. Aren't we on the right path? Aren't they on kufr and disbelief? Why are we being humiliated in our religion? And Abu Bakr said exactly the same thing. And he grabbed Umar and he shook him. And he told him, Umar, watch out. Follow his footsteps, otherwise you will be doomed and you will lose. Umar, years after, he said, whenever I remember this, I free slaves, I give in charity, I offer prayers, I fast, so that Allah would forgive the sins that I have done on that occasion. And finally, Allah Azza wa Jal says in the same surah, Surah Al-Fath, verse 26, إِذْ جَعَلَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا فِي قُلُوبِهِمُ الْحَمِيَّةِ حَمِيَّةَ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ فَأَنزَلَ اللَّهُ سَكِينَتَهُ عَلَى رَسُولِهِ وَعَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَأَلْزَمَهُمْ كَلِمَةَ التَّقْوَى وَكَانُوا أَحَقَّ بِهَا وَأَهْلَهَا وَكَانَ اللَّهُ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمًا. And this verse was in reference to Sulh al-Hudaybiyah, as I have explained. Well, Allah Azza wa Jal says, when those who disbelieve, the pagans of Mecca, had put in their hearts pride and arrogance, they would not reject anyone coming from Arabia, from the pagans, to perform Umrah. But when it came to the Prophet ﷺ, it was the pride and arrogance in their hearts, where the pride and haughtiness of the time of ignorance. Then Allah sent down His Sakeenah. And that is why the Prophet accepted that ﷺ. And that is why Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, and the rest of the companions accepted it. Only few who could not tolerate this, not out of ignorance, but out of love for Islam. These are the 6 verses that have the word Sakeenah. But what is the meaning of Sakeenah? Sakeenah is tranquility. It is peace and calmness. It is the belief in Allah that makes you calm down when your heart is filled with fear and it's trembling out of distress. Once you have this Sakeenah in you, you're not bothered, you're not changed, you're not provoked or intimidated. This transcends on your actions, on the things you say, and on how you behave and believe. Sakeenah comes also opposite to arrogance. An arrogant person does not have Sakeenah. The Prophet says, alayhi salatu wasalam, that arrogance and pride are with those who have camels and horses, and Sakeenah is with those who have sheep. What does that mean? If you own camels and horses and you're always with your livestock and you're happy with it and you're taking care of it, you tend to get some of the characteristics of these animals, which is pride, arrogance. So you always humiliate people, you always disrespect people. And this is found in some of the Bedouins who are not fine-tuning their characteristics with Islam, with the Quran, with the Sunnah. While those who take care of sheep and have sheep and grow sheep and take care of it, subhanallah, because sheep is quiet and calm, they also get this Sakeenah into them. This Sakeenah is what we need now. That makes us calm and focused in times of stress, in times of calamities. The Sakeenah is not something we earn. It is a gift from Allah Azza wa Jal. One would argue and say, okay, what about some of those who are not Muslim, but they are patient when calamities strike? Well, this is not Sakeenah. This is patience. This is something that they train themselves to attain, but you don't know what's in their hearts. It can be in turmoil, and it can be calm, but this is temporary. A lot of the people tend to feel calm and peaceful when they engage themselves in sin. So someone says, when I listen to soft music before I sleep quickly, and I feel nice and calm. But if I don't, I feel agitated. This is not Sakeenah, because it is not gained and obtained through lawful means. It's not from Allah. This is temporary. You may feel good about it for a while, but after the influence, the effect is gone, you go back to square one.